You have once again tuned. I got this thing all in the background right here. Well, good evening to all you good folks, and thank you for tuning in to the Wisdom Channel. I'm trying not to drop this stuff. Trying to get comfortable here rather than in front of my computer or my usual spot. Got a topic here I wanted to discuss. I've seen a few videos done on this. Well, more specifically, a certain gentleman who's put it out there, his opinion that basically was put out upon, to win over a certain demographic. So he said what it is that he said. So, that question being, how should you split? I'm laughing at this because it's so, you know, it it's one of those things where it shouldn't really matter what somebody else has to say as long as it works for your household. But at the end of the day, like anything else, there's a few factors that are involved with this, right? So, let's say both of you guys, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, whatever it is you got going on. If you're two working adults as the man of the house, and then because we get into things about, well, the income is there's different income between the two. There might be a significant income difference as far as a few thousand, or it could be 20,000, 30,000, whatever. And I understand this stuff like this comes in place. My opinion personally, as a man, especially if a woman's going to be living with me, whether she be my girlfriend, fiance, significant other, and she's working, my opinion is I'm gonna take this is the way I feel about it as a man that's working. You should definitely be able to take care of the rent, the mortgage, whatever have you. It's more than fair, you know. And things like utilities, which is common, we hear this. Things like utilities is something that the woman should take care of. Something like now utilities, where it comes in where people say, well, light bill, water bill, cable, and all this other stuff. It should be, contributing to things like this, and I understand a lot of that does build up, but that's when you really have to sit down and financially plan. Like, for example, the last, like, I had a bunch of people living with me. With when I was just giving you an example. When I was married, right? I paid I paid the mortgage, and I paid the phone bills, the cell phone bills. I paid, for the most part, I paid for the grocery. I think I did, not for the most part. Pretty much paid for the grocery, right? I paid for the car insurance on both cars. I made sure that was taken care of, and there's probably a few other things I'm missing, like maybe like Direct TV. I paid for that, and she probably paid the water bill. Probably bought groceries here and there. She paid the light or electric bill, depending on where you're at. Um, what else? I mean, she bought stuff around the house, I think, but other than that, I paid the bulk of the bills. And at this time, once I came back from overseas, I wasn't making as much as I was before. Me and her were making almost equal, but I was still paying more than the majority, the bulk of the bills around the house. You know, and she was she worked by choice at that time. I mean, before she worked because she wanted to work, but obviously with me coming back, it was kind of like almost necessary. But that's one of those things where you really have to sit down and plan it out. upon things like that. Because here's the thing, and this is what was said to me, you know, once upon when I was married and I came back, that once it came where she was paying those utilities and stuff like that, she was like, my whole check is gone, and would like kind of complain about that. So I'm like basically saying, well, what about my check? But this was just a temporary thing for me because I had always taken care of everything. But the fact that at this point she really had to contribute. So basically, at this point, when a man is spending the majority of his money on the bills at the end of the day, is it that the by virtue of her being a woman that she's supposed to pocket all the additional cash? Is that the way it's supposed to be looked? Is that basically what comes about? And I know that's an argument that comes up a lot of times that if I'm spending all my money, we're both equally coming home. We're both working. We both come home. We both either cook on, every other night, or we definitely both clean up, do household chores, all that stuff together. Then there's a there's really not a discrepancy, but it's not really equal for the most part. And there's also I made a status the other day about that, about the man paying this certain amount, and this girl, she commented and she said, well, he makes $20,000 more than me, so I shouldn't have to pay that much in utilities, is what she was saying. And she said she pays the phone bill and all this other stuff like that. So basically, what it came out to, I think she said their rent, the place where they were renting, was like $1,400. So based upon what she was spending, I think the utilities and everything, it came out to be like $800 or $900 is what she was paying. Now I don't know everything else as far as that goes. So my thing was, I said, okay, when somebody shared this video, if you're gonna be with me, you have an option. That's where I'm at right now in my life. You can work if you want, or you can stay home. You know what I'm saying? You can stay home, take care of the house, make sure everything's good to go. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, you know what comes along with that. And some women are born and say, "Hey, that's all I want to do. I want to be a homemaker. I don't want to do anything else." You know what I mean? And some of them are like, "No, I want to work." And let the kid. If you have kids, let the kids go to daycare. They just want to work. It drives them crazy sitting around the house. Kids are driving them crazy. They got to have a job, even if the majority of their money goes towards daycare, which financially, it doesn't make sense. But just to be able to get out of the house and have someone else watch the kids, but it financially, economically, as far as the whole thing goes, it doesn't make sense. You're just working just to pay daycare, which is what a lot of families find themselves in. But my thing is, if you want to stay home, I got no problem paying all the bills as long as you're taking care of the house. You know what I mean? Everything's good. And we get into the whole aspect of wife, especially if you're not married. This is another argument that comes up, and I did a video in the past about this, about doing wifely duties. If you're cohabitating with a man, you guys living in the same house, please don't bring up that argument of saying, why should I have to do wifely duties? If you're having sex with a man, that's a wifely duty. So, and I hate to sound, so rude if I'm coming off like that, but it's we see too many of these things said on memes or by someone who's trying to be a pro feminist by saying don't do wifely duties for a man that's not gonna make you his wife, but yet still y'all living in the same house. So basically, you're saying you're not gonna do anything, especially if you aren't working and you're sitting at home, or you're still gonna say I'm not gonna do wifely duties because you haven't made me your wife, but at the same time you don't have to work. So, once again, back to what I'm saying, I don't, me personally, at the point in my life right now, I don't have an issue with that. You know, it's just that it's your choice. You have quote unquote, you have options, not quote unquote, but that's basically what it is. You got options. Either you can do this or you can do that. But understand in both roles what comes along with it, the responsibilities and well, not responsibilities, the expectations that come along with that. You know, that's just me. Period. Because if you are um, not gonna be working, then I mean, we need to be building this castle, building this empire. You know, devising this plan as far as becoming great, becoming this power couple, even though you are what would be called a homemaker. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing really to argue about. As mature adults, you should see the big picture. This is where communication comes in and these goals as far as that instead of arguing about certain things. That's just me. I'm gonna pay for it. I don't feel like I'll at this point. I can't say that would ever happen, but at this point where if I'm living in this place that's my castle, that she's gonna have to go half on it with me. You know what I mean? She take care of all the other stuff. I'll take care of that. You know what I mean? And go from there. Hmm. Okay, we got some commentary here. Let's see, which I'll gladly respond here. He says, I saw a Facebook post where a wife was upset that her husband did not want her to have dinner with her ex that just got out of prison. I don't understand what that has to do with this topic, but if you can expound and shed some light on that. But okay, Grace. I don't think a man should take care of a woman who he is not married to. Hmm. I'm interested in knowing why that is. Because what if she's taking care of him? What if she's taking care of the household? What if she's taking care of his kids? What if she's cooking and cleaning? What if she's being that, doing those wifely duties? What if she's motivating this man? What if she's helping this man be the best that he can be? You know, which is basically being that nice feminine woman, which is basically what a man desires at the end of the day. Of going through hell, maybe out in the streets all day or working, you know, going through having a hard day, coming home to a woman, which is his peace at the end of the day, providing that comfort, that motivation, that reassurance, being there for him. Why wouldn't he want to take care of a woman like that? That's my opinion. But I get what you're saying. Why not make that woman his wife? You know, I totally get where you're coming from. If he chooses to, fine. But she is devoting her life to him. Exactly. I get what you're saying. Why not marry her then? And I am totally with you. Cause if I had all that in a woman, I would definitely marry her. Just like that. In a split second. That's peace. That's when you get that peace, tranquility, and happiness. Then yeah. I heard you say wifely duties. I was thinking that this Facebook post shows that some wives think of wifely duties. Oh, yeah. The only way you would hang up your career and ambitions is if you're married. Let me tell you something about marriage also, even though I need to start doing these more videos on divorce. Marriage is, especially these days, marriage is finite in both ways, whether death do you part or basically boredom does you part. You know what I mean? Or the next man or next woman does you part. So, whether you hang it up when you're married or you hang it up, I guess marriage gives you more of a surety, so to speak, where you feel like you have something, or if the law is on your side at the point of being married, I guess. But either way, it could end within a few months, or it could end whether you're married or not. But I get what you're saying. You would hang it up once you're married. I can understand that. I just don't see myself doing that. Yeah, you take care of bills, but the only way I would hang up my career ambitions is if I'm married. And it's just as easy that man could lose his job too when he gets married. But I'm just giving my, obviously, people, like I said, it's on you how you run your household, how your relationship operates, functions, all that stuff. That's on you. By all means, I just, as I said in other videos, and people may have a difference of opinion with me, I can't see myself, which there are men in that position, having a woman take care of them. Having a woman, him being the homemaker, or him paying just a few bills, or just buying the grocery. I can't see myself, you know, having, a mother figure like that taking care of you. Cause I'll put it like this. I mean, it's respect. Respect is what it is. But as long as a woman's paying the bulk of the bills, that respect isn't gonna be there. That respect level is definitely not gonna be there. You may get a whole lot of mouthing off, talking back, talking trash, giving you lip, because she's actually paying the bills, or paying the bulk of them, or contributing in them. You're gonna have a lot more bumping heads going on, and a lot more to say about things, as opposed to a man that's taking care of all the bills. And I know a lot of women that end up watching this video later are probably gonna have some negative things to say about that. But that's just the nature of it. You got a man that's paying all your bills, and you still mouthing off or doing as you please. Nah, I don't see it happening. It's not gonna happen. And disrespecting a man that's paying all the bills. I mean, you can correct me. Anybody who's watching, you correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong about this, but usually the ones who are doing that, the man isn't taking care of the household and the man isn't paying the bills. You'll come across some every now and then that do that. That they may have a woman in their ear, or have a friend in their ear talking. But if you're a man that's paying all the bills, and you're with a woman that's doing that, then yeah, something's up. Maybe she has something better on the horizon. Because I don't see it happening if you're taking care of the household, paying all the bills, and you're still getting disrespected. Nah, you know. But I might be wrong, like I said. So I don't know. Wifely duties is wifely duties. Uh, Submitting to a man supposedly is a wifely duty. Having sex is a wifely duty. If we want to get on that, but that 50-50 stuff. 50-50, there's so much that comes with that 50-50 stuff. 50-50. The equality, when we talk about 50-50, it's, as far as a household, it's, I don't know. I just, as a man, you should be, that's your job, to take care of that household. Man, you can fall on hard times, and it happens, but as a man, it's your job to, what did I read? Somebody put something up the other day. It's a man's responsibility. Maybe one of y'all can chime in on this. It's a difference between the man is responsible for the house, the woman is responsible for the home. Something like that I read. Maybe that's what it is. The man is responsible for taking care of the house, the woman is responsible for taking care of the home. This is in traditional relationships, if you will. So, just what I heard. I don't know if you how many people agree with that. Respect is due to a dog. It should be, man. It should be. Respect is due to a dog. But people get disrespected. I know I've got, the first sign of disrespect, man, you gotta get rid of it. I've gotten disrespected. I think past three relationships I've been in. But at the same time, well, the marriage, I was paying all the bills for the most part, you know. But the person just got a little bit too comfortable out in the streets while I was gone. The second one, she was just paying the utilities, and she just got to the point where she just felt like she could disrespect me. And this last one, I wasn't paying any of her. Well, she didn't live with me either, so she wasn't living with me, but I wasn't paying any of her bills. So that's another reason why, obviously, I'm not paying any of this woman's bills, and that was her problem with me. So that's why she could and that goes back to what I say. That's why she felt that she could, I guess, at a certain point, disrespect me like this. Hey, you ain't paying none of my fucking bills. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You can talk to me like that. You're not paying none of my bills. Which is basically what it comes down to. A lot of you guys, if you're dealing with uh, some of these women, especially some single mothers who've got kids, you know, you can't just be expecting. And this is the way it's said, them to just be hanging out with you. Uh, you know you can create a monster, right? And believe me, if she has children that are not yours, you better not pay her bills. If she not your wife, don't start that mess. You think I don't know that? I already know that. That's how you. Because once you start, you're gonna have to keep on doing it. And but the way some of them look at it is, hey, I'm spending my time with you. I have kids. I have responsibilities. If I am laying down for you, having sex with you, you need to be putting money out. Cause I got kids. You think I'm just here just to be, you know, giving all this up to you, and we're just spending time? No, I got kids to take care of. And that's kind of like the way many of them approach it. Even though, like I said, it'll be a lot of women commenting on these videos and say there's a lot of single mothers that got it together, da 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 da, which is true, but they're not going to be sitting up there, when they have kids, dealing with a man that's not going to do anything for them. And that's just the fact of the matter. She can go through her. I watched something earlier on Facebook. If she has a bunch of guys in her phone and she can't call one of them to do anything for her, then what's the use of having them in her phone? You're dealing with a man that can't do anything for you. You know, that's right. If they went after the heart, the wallet, exactly, exactly. But that's not the way it goes. Usually, the professionals will go after, you know, putting that thing on them. Once she put that thing on him, then he's supposed to automatically come out with the wallet instead of other ways. But hey, that's neither here nor there. But like I said, at the end of the day, if she can go through her phone Go down the list, and there's not anyone, not one person in there that can do anything for her. You know, what's really the point at the end of the day? So, and some women find themselves in a predicament where, especially when you're dealing with a man that has options, it's not readily gonna happen, especially a single man. But some of them do get single man. And I hate to say this, but I know this firsthand because I've experienced this and seen the mo of some of these women, these pretty women. And I'll do a video on this about uh, even though you may be an unattractive man, the money basically levels the playing field. So a lot of these pretty women will go after unattractive men because unattractive man's first idea as far as getting a woman or getting a woman to show him attention or is to basically come out of the wallet and offer to do something for her monetarily. That's their mode of operation. This happens. I was told this straight up, and a woman I used to date. I've seen the guys that she dated, and they were all single men. They were like 5'2", 5'3", and I'll say so myself. They were unattractive men. They were not attractive, and basically the first thing they did was come out, off the rip and basically offer to pay her bills or offer to do something for her. But they already knew, you know, they'll just come out and that's their way. So I believe it was what's his name, Alpha Male Strategies. He did a video on that, and he basically said any man that basically equals the playing field. If you're an unattractive man who is not, you know, genetically blessed or something like that, then you have to use money to equal the playing field. That'll pretty much get you a lot of times any woman that you want. It'll make up for the fat, the unattractive facial features, and all that just to get the woman you want. And like I said, I dated a woman who, you know, three guys that I know of previously that I've seen pictures of. They were all below 5'3", unattractive dudes, but that was their way in by basically, offering to do this, and this. So, but by virtue of this, a lot of times these guys don't know that they're enabling a lot of these women who may or may not be trying to, better themselves financially in life. They're just dependent on using these type of men, even though they have no attraction to them. But it's just about survival, which is the way it was explained to me. It's about survival. That's because they are impatient and she feels her time is worth more than yours. Sex with you equals money to them. It's sad, but that's all they care about. And can you believe supposedly there are unicorns out there? Um, because they are impatient and she feels her time is worth. Absolutely. I mean, money is gonna get. You can kind of almost tell money's gonna get some people's attention quicker than others. You know, and once you start talking that and start saying I can do this, and this for you, even down to the point where you're moving a woman in with I don't know why I got off on this anyway, but with multiple kids, moving them in, offering to move them in, then that's even more of an incentive because you're getting a woman that you would ordinarily get, and you can kind of lock her down by doing that. Scarcity mindset, or just something you basically been doing all this time. Which it is true. Now that I thought about this and I'm thinking about it, it is something that's routinely done. And if you're a person who's been living that lifestyle, then that's that. But in that case, This woman that I'm talking about, she never had to pay any bills. She just stacked her bread up until she was financially ready and just left his ass. You know what I'm saying? So, oh shit, damn. Yeah, just left his ass. So that's what that was, man. But it's all about what you want to do. It's all about what you're trying to do. If you want that stay at home person, if you want that person just to be there, to be that homemaker, to hold the crib down, then that's cool. If you want to have a equal, go for it. But understand what all comes with it, and that opens the door to disrespect. And I think, like you said, even a dog deserves respect. You would think, but I mean, there's frustration that comes in when that check isn't coming in. I've seen it firsthand. When that check doesn't come in, or if she's having to come out of the pocket on certain things, that frustration leads to disrespect and other things amongst that. You know what I'm saying? So it happens, and like I said, all this is a lot of this is new to me. Especially if you're like me and you've been pretty much if you've been married most of your adult life, then you didn't have to go through a lot of this stuff. Or if you're more of an attractive man who has options, watch out what you're doing. You know, because an attractive man who has options, or a woman for that matter, but we're just talking about I'm talking about men in this matter. If you're an attractive man that has options, you would never put up with any of that foolishness. You know what I'm saying? You refuse to put up with that foolishness because it's just a cycle of enabling, and you're basically in essence paying someone to be with you. You know. So, just my unsolicited thoughts this evening. MSTNV. Good evening to you, whoever you are. Don't be cheap though. Eh, And all oh shit, just trying to move my neck. Don't be cheap. You got you a beautiful person that you enjoy spending time with. You're living with that person, and you're a man, and you have the means. Just go ahead and just take care of that house, man. Take care of that house. Don't listen to what that dude talking about. This other guy, I'm not gonna say his name. He's a bigger he's one of those Facebook YouTube simps who basically says everything, you know, it's geared towards everything that a woman wants to hear. And it's basically will say that a woman shouldn't have to pay nothing. You should be able to pocket all your money if you're working, and spend your money on whatever you want to spend it on, while the man pays for everything. But if you're working, I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't be paying for something around there. I think you know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say his name on here though. But all of his videos, and sometimes that's the way to go. All of his videos are designed to absolve women of wrongdoing. And I just want to give women a warning, is that if you listen to him, your relationships are doomed at the end of the day. I don't think anyone's got any great success stories from listening to him, but it sounds good. As long as someone just like a pastor in church is going to absolve you of any wrongdoing, of course you're going to want to hear more. You know, you can sit back and say great things. Who doesn't want to hear nothing but great things and that you've done nothing wrong? There's nothing that you did wrong. Everything is positive. He's trying to build you, get you to the point where you have a narcissistic complex about yourself, and that you were born perfect. You were born, as you said earlier, a unicorn, and nothing that you've done is wrong, and everything that a man does is wrong, and you are an immaculate being. You are a diamond. You are flawless. And if you listen to that, I don't know. You may find the man of your dreams temporarily, but I don't know. Anyone who can't take responsibility for what they do, and you have a lot of people out here like that, men and women, that is not someone you should ever be in a relationship with. If they can't admit that they're wrong, can't apologize for anything, and can't take responsibility for anything or their past mistakes or whatever have you. Just my thoughts. So with that being said, just want to that's the problem. They become entitled because people like that enable. Yeah. Well, they indoctrinate. I'm gonna read what you said and I'm gonna respond to it. But that's the problem. They become entitled because people like that enable and indoctrinate them with the princess BS. Okay, you're right. But wait until they turn about late 30s, early 40s, and they realize the truth of the matter. You know, by the time like that, it's usually too late. That princess BS can go on, and that you don't do anything wrong. You've never done anything wrong. It's the man. It's the man. It's the man. Something's wrong with him. Nothing's wrong with me. I'm single because of every man that I've chose. It wasn't my fault that I chose him. He just happened to be a messed up individual, and every man that I've been with just happened to be a messed up individual. So, but let's not make it about that. Let's just make it about these bills was really good because it's not the 50s or the 60s anymore, and you know we do what's right for our households at the end of the day. So shout out to everybody. I appreciate you guys tuning in. In the late night tip. My lives my stuff has been slowing down, man. I think YouTube is doing something to my channel, man, but it's all good. Regardless though, I appreciate you guys tuning in. You guys have been great. Make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check out the website. The link is in the description. If you want to book a one-on-one directly with yours truly, make sure you guys hit me up. You got my email address, and or hit me up through the website so we can book that. Discuss anything you want to talk about. You know what I mean? And all the links are in the description. All my products, T-shirts, all that good stuff. Don't forget about the I'm sitting up here thinking like, don't forget about the weight loss challenge I got up. I had the video on the face link to the Facebook page where you guys can join in. So make sure you guys check that out. Look forward to the guys participating. We're offering prizes for first, second, and third place. Make sure you guys check that out. Get involved. Today is the first day. The last day is January 9th. Whoever's the biggest loser as far as weight, you win in first prize. So if you're interested. But with that being said, man, peace be upon you, all the mercy and blessings of the Almighty. And remember, anything lost can be found again except for time wasted. And dudes and dudettes, I will catch you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace.